So question number one for the month of May is, when fertilizing in a food forest or in a garden, do you have to pull the mulch back? So this question actually came from my mom. So if you're on Patreon and you see mom on there, that is my actual mother. That is not somebody's just screen name. And I learned gardening a lot from my parents, and we're all still learning. My parents are still learning. My grandmother is still learning. We're all still learning this journey, because nature is incredibly and wonderfully complex. So when we're fertilizing in a food forest or a garden, and this is mainly talking about whole ingredient amending. So we're talking about blood meal, bone meal, feather meal, azomite, green sand, that sort of thing. So these whole ingredients, do you have to pull those wood chips back, then put the amendment in, and then push the wood chips back? Okay, in the ideal world, which none of us live in, yeah, it's a great practice. I think it's a great practice because it prevents your dog from getting in it. It gives it direct contact with the soil, so it's going directly into your soil structure. In an ideal world, great practice. Now, in reality, if you've got 5 or more fruit trees, it's a pain in the butt to bring back all of those wood chips, put your stuff down, push it all back. It just takes too much time. So to be honest, it is going to seep through the wood chips. You're going to be okay. So if you just sprinkle your bone meal, blood meal, feather meal, if you're using a faster version like Espoma Organics Tree Tone, that's my favorite fertilizer for my fruit trees, just do it on top of the wood chips. It doesn't look as pretty. You are going to see it on top. Now, if you do have an animal, you got to make sure they're not eating it. Now, is bone meal going to hurt your dog? Probably not. They eat bones and whatnot anyway. Is blood meal going to hurt them? Probably not. Could it give them an upset tummy? Yeah, probably is going to. So if you're concerned about your animals being in the backyard, sure, go ahead and bury them. But by and large, it is going to soak through the wood chips, and it is going to be bioavailable to the plants. I would say the one thing to remember is we don't focus on the trunk of the tree when amending. We focus on the drip line. So go out to the very edge of the canopy, straight down, and that ring, that circle, is where you want to apply your amendments. The reason for that is most of your feeder roots are not at the base of the tree. They're not at the trunk of the tree. So a lot of people will throw that down in the first 6 inches around the trunk thinking, oh, I don't want to waste it. I want to put it around the tree. Well, the roots that are eating are those hairier roots that are outside at the edge. They're reaching and they're looking for food. So the other reason that I want to do that is not because it's more bioavailable at the drip edge, but also I want my tree roots to be reaching and growing. I don't want my roots to be super comfortable in a small, compact area, because then I have a small, compact root system. I want a vigorous root system that's going out and stretching, going for its own nutrients, going for its own microbes, going for its own probiotics. So even when you're watering, think drip line. So we're always going out to that edge.